Hi everyone. Wow, okay, it's been 6 months since I apparently put anything on my channel, so I'm sorry about that, and if you've stuck around for that long, thank you for being so patient. I have another lovely sketchbook tour. It's taken me a long time to do this one. It is, oh, it doesn't even say. Hold on, I'm trying not to spoil it too much. It's a Strathmore 500 series mixed media paper, and I got it because I had seen Lee Alexson use it, and I know a lot of other people have used it as well, and it is really nice. It is a little bit of a shame that the cover is so like soft and velvety because well, you could probably see, I don't know if you can kind of see with the light, it's all like marked and it has loads of like nicks in it and it picks up dust really easily. But anyway, other than that, it was like a really nice sketchbook, really nice to paint in. So yeah, I'm just gonna take you through it now. I tried to make my setup a little bit more friendly looking rather than just like a blank desk, but I have to move it now because I'm gonna open it up. But okay, will it fit if I just, no, sorry, you're gonna have to move aside a little bit more. Okay, so this is the first page. You can kind of see here, I said I started June 14th 2021 and finished July 7th of 2022, so it took me a bit longer to finish this one. I don't really know why, because I was really into it like in the beginning, and then I think because the paper has such a specific feel to it, it's like quite thick, and there was a period of time where I was really into using like my markers and stuff, so it does work for that, but it kind of feels like it's absorbing so much of the ink that it dries them out more quickly. So yeah, this is the first page, and this is a character who doesn't have a name. She never appears again. I just was looking through some kind of like Pinterest photos, and you know, I was really into that kind of country peasant dress, I think it's called, that look, but I think it looks really kind of nice and very natural, and yeah, I just wanted to draw that kind of a look, and I painted it with gouache as well. So this sketchbook ended up being quite experimental because it was kind of the first time I'd ever had a sketchbook where I was able to use so many wet media in it. So I have ink here, more ink here. I was sketching with some, what are they called? Dip pens. In some ink, so I was just messing around with those. I bought myself a nice like blue ink and a red ink as well, but I'm actually not so keen on the colour of it, so that got pushed to the back of one of my shelves somewhere, never to be seen again. Also this year I got really obsessed with my Echoline inks. I think I was obsessed with them last year as well, but I bought myself a whole bunch more this year, so my collection has grown. These were just swatches of some of the colours I got. This character became a little bit more prominent in the next page or two, I can't remember. She was just a kind of a fantasy character that I started developing only briefly. Yeah, I love my Echoline inks. They're just so pretty. They're so bright, and I did a couple of little characters with them as well. And they're almost so bright that like my scanner can't pick it up, so it's a little bit unfortunate that way, but whatever. They like, I know that they're pretty in real life. So yeah, this is that previous character who I was just kind of developing her design, and that's kind of as far as it went in the sketchbook, I think. I did a little bit more on my iPad, and her name is Homily, which I heard in, what was it called? That Studio Ghibli film, Arrietty. Her mother is called Homily, and I was like, oh, that's such a pretty name. And I know what it means, but it's still a pretty name. So this is my homily, and she's a summoner, like in Final Fantasy. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, okay, more Echoline stuff. This is all Echoline inks. That'll go on for a little while, actually through the whole sketchbook. But in the same vein as developing like fantasy characters, and I mean, in my last sketchbook tour, I had the same kind of ideas going through where I would try to design or come up with designs for fantasy characters or creatures or whatever, and this is one of them. One of the kind of the Final Fantasy archetypes that I like to explore are the mages, and I have a white and a black mage concept, and I didn't have a blue mage, so this was kind of what I came up with it. So they're pretty inspired, I guess, by Quina from Final Fantasy IX, or Kina, however you say it. I've always just said Quina. But they're like frog people, and I think they're really cute. I kind of did a couple of pages of those. I ended up calling them the Rogapal. I can't remember why. I know Pal comes from something that means people, and Raga, I can't remember. Oh, Fraga? Frog? I don't know, something like that. Anyway, Rogapal, that's what they're called. Like frog people, literally. And I had a lot of fun with those because I've never really drawn frogs before at all, so that was kind of like a fun little concept to play with. This character, if you saw my last sketchbook tour, she appeared a lot in it. She's my OC, her name is Rune. I draw her a lot. She's a character that I've had since I was very little. So she pops up from she pops up from time to time. Sorry. And this character doesn't have a name. She just kind of appeared one day. That kind of happens every now and again, where just a particular design kind of pops into my head, and then I just draw it. And this was done with some watercolors that I had bought that day that I was drawing this. They had really nice like vintage colors, so I was just playing around with that. So I think that's also the only time that she appears. Here, messing around with my Echoline inks again. You could probably see on the screen how bright those colors are. Like I can't get over them, and I like to kind of mess it up with some textures from pencil. And she is also a nameless character. Here was, I wish I dated it. This was an orc character that I made in the Elder Scrolls Online, I think it was. My boyfriend, his brother and I kind of started playing a little bit together, and I made this orc character called Gilbert. And I think we played for like a couple of times, and then we kind of gave up. I didn't really get into it. I mean, like, it looked nice, but yeah. And then down here, again, going back to the whole Final Fantasy kind of imagery or characters, I was trying to develop a concept for the Viera, which I think as a concept, as a kind of a race concept, are really interesting, but I just never liked in the games how like sexualized they were. So I wanted to try and come up with my own idea of them. You know, when you don't have any other ideas to draw, you kind of revert to something that you're comfortable with. The Viera are kind of now one of my go-tos because I just think they're really nice, and I like the concept that I came up with. So I just kind of like to draw them now. And I like, I like an excuse to draw pretty dresses or flowers everywhere. And I never used to draw flowers that much. But I have always really liked other people's illustrations that use a lot of like floral imagery, so I'm trying to incorporate it a little bit. I really like this drawing. I did a kind of a more like finished version of it for my Instagram, where I just kind of blacked out the background, which I'm also doing a lot more lately, just doing characters or images on like flat black backgrounds. I think it looks really well. But I really like her. Them not so much, but oh yeah, Okay, so bought a bunch of like really cheap markers and wanted to mess around with them. So I started, this is kind of like where I was mentioning earlier where I was developing like a black and a white mage concept. The white mages, when I was younger, I had an idea that they were kind of like an ancient Aztec, a Mesoamerican culture as well, who were very naturally kind of adept at using healing magic and all of that. So, but when I was younger, I instead went with a really boring kind of medieval concept. I think I said all of this in like a previous video, so I won't go into it too much. But anyway, that's the kind of concept that I wanted to develop as well, while still kind of incorporating the traditional white mage, like Final Fantasy white mage, kind of like the patterns in the clothes and the colors. Yeah, so these were the sketches. I definitely made a video on them, on just basically how I colored them. But those were the kind of the two finished concepts that I had for like a particular character of each. For each magic, here is Rune again, and where she's younger and a little bit older. Here she is again, my little darling daughter. She's so pretty. Again, this was done with Echoline inks. I just really love this grey ink. I actually can't get enough of it, especially like, I don't know if you can kind of see here where it bleeds out. Like the inside is this lovely cool blue grey, and then the edges kind of dry to a warmer tone. It looks so nice. These were a couple of sketches that I drew of Franard. I don't know if she's still called that, but like Fran Meneses, I think. She had a couple of these photos of herself on her Instagram, and I liked her outfit, so I wanted to draw them. This is the year as well that I discovered Aurora, the singer, and I'm really in love with her music. I think she as a person seems really sweet and lovely, so I just wanted to do a quick little portrait of her. And yeah, I'm happy with how that came out. This, another fantasy concept of Kuyata. That was just kind of like a quick idea sketch that I drew at work, which I'm not supposed to do, but it was just to quickly get the idea down because it just kind of hit me then. And I did a couple more sketches here at home. That was just that development, and then I also did the digital version of it, which I have also, I think, put online, I think. Oh yeah, so this was the first art stream that I ever did on Twitch, which I also haven't been on in a while, but I would like to do more of it, especially now that I have this lovely new camera that I must take advantage of. But I was drawing live, and I was just doing these humanized versions of Pokemon. These are the Liquitex acrylic inks, which I bought myself like the fluorescent colors because they looked so lovely, and they are so lovely, and you can't, I don't know, can you really pick up how bright they are? I guess with the yellow you kind of can, but yeah, they're so like delicious, and you know, I love them a lot. This is a concept for another Eidolon idea. This is Gaia. I also did a digital picture of her, which I never made a video of, so I'll just put the finished image there. This is Rune again, just referencing some outfits from Pinterest. These are all of my original characters. There's Rune, and then these four lads, I've drawn them before. There are other OCs as well that I kind of revisit every now and again. So we've Logan, Reese, Tig, and Sven. And then the next couple of pages are, what's it called? Just practice sketches for people's Nuzlocke comic characters. Because I've reached a point in my Nuzlocke comic now where my character has reached kind of the end of the journey, I guess, and I had wanted it to kind of be a little bit of fanfare, and you know, for there to be like a crowd for her to interact with. So I asked people if they wanted to basically offer their characters for me to give them a little cameo in my comic. So like a whole bunch of people did. It was loads of fun. Like I had loads of characters to draw. This isn't even the half of it. But yeah, and that comic was like, that page was just really fun to draw. So yeah, if you haven't read my comic, feel free. Rune again. I was really happy this day as well, I remember, because I had bought this ink for her hair. It's like a really particular kind of, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's like a burnt orange, I guess, but maybe a bit darker. Again, she has a really, really specific hair color in my mind anyway, and it's a really hard color to find ready-made. And you know, if I'm just sketching, I just kind of want something that I can grab and just throw down. So like you can kind of see, like here I was messing around with like the markers and stuff, and it's way too dark. And it's really kind of dingy. I'm sorry to anybody who has that hair color. I'm sure it's lovely, but just on my character, it's not what I want. So it's really happy. This is, yeah, that's the Liquitex acrylic inks as well. And it was like the burnt sienna, I think, transparent burnt sienna. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the burnt sienna, but it's like the perfect color. It's like clearly a like red hair color, but it's more on the orangey side, which I prefer. So anyway, I was really happy about that. And then I was just mixing all of the colors that I had with white as well, just to see how that would turn out. That's more of a joke to myself about this because I just drew her neck really long for some reason. So I'm going to skip the next one because that is something that I'm going to be using for my Nuzlocke, and I don't want people to see it. It wouldn't really matter, I guess, but whatever, just for the transparency of it, I guess. These were just preparatory sketches for a caricature portrait painting that I was commissioned to do, so that's what that is. These are more drawings of Rune. They were using, oh, if you hear people in the background, sorry, but the window's open, it's really hot, I have to keep it open, so I'm sorry if you hear them. But anyway, I was using drawing prompts from, I cannot remember, I wish I'd written it down, but yeah, they were just drawing prompts that I took. So tulip, smoke for the two of these, and hand. Another Final Fantasy concept, which I don't like now anymore. I remember at the time I did like it, but this one's not too bad, but I wish I hadn't done all of these squiggly lines, they kind of ruin it a little bit. But I had the idea of some kind of like lore, I guess you'd call it, weather lore, I guess, basically kind of like these two, lightning and thunder. Lightning, who's really mischievous and likes to like run around and prank humans and whatever, and he's like obviously super fast, and his older brother, who's the thunder, is constantly chasing him and trying to like ward him off of like being a dick basically by banging on his drum and causing the sound of thunder. But because obviously he's slower, he's always heard after the first brother has kind of fecked off. I know it's like a really kind of like simple kind of childlike concept, but I did really like it, and I kind of like the two of them. I couldn't figure out a color scheme for them though, so that kind of got a bit messed up. And they were also called, I think I called them, yeah, Tintruk and Tornuk. He's Tintruk and Tornuk, and those are both the Irish words just for lightning and thunder, so it's not even very creative. This I referenced from a photo on Pinterest, just this really beautiful, sweet little girl. I loved how red her cheeks were, so I just really wanted to draw it. She's a little bit wonky in my sketchbook. I think when I posted it online, I actually kind of like edited it to make myself look a bit better, but here it is. That's what it looks like. More Viera. I don't like her so much. I really like her. And yeah, I mean, these pages are just so blank because I just had no ideas. I was kind of forcing myself to draw. I just got like a bunch of cheap pencils and markers and washi tape, so I was just kind of laying them out and seeing what they looked like. Rune's eyes are whited out because I can't remember what they looked like, but I remember not liking them, so this was the better option. Oh yeah, you can really tell that I had no idea what to do. Bought myself some more Echoline. This is a humanized version of the Pokemon Cricketune, which I quite liked. I had a bunch of them in a game I was playing. I can't remember which one it was, but anyway, she was part of it. Maybe I'll also put the kind of the finished image in front here. I don't know. This was definitely the point. I think we're a little over halfway. I just had no idea what to do. So it's probably as bad as it's gonna get. Bit of an upswing. I really wanted to kind of play around with my Echoline inks. This isn't an ad for them or anything, I just really like them. But I do like this drawing. Everything from like here up, I like it, but then from here down, I feel like I kind of ruined it a little bit. The blending is weird. I don't really know what I was doing, but yeah, from there up, it's okay. And then this is a redraw of an old drawing concept that I did of the Eidolon Siren. That was just a redraw of that. This page was just some preparatory sketches for another little commission that I did. It was a little kind of family magnet that the client wanted me to make of this family, and it turned out really nice. This was just referenced from a photo that I took, and yeah, I just completely ignored that page. I just wasn't in it, and that's that. My boyfriend did this. He's also incredibly artistic. Yeah. Oh, so these are all sketches of one day I did like a regional variant of like a Vileplume up here, just a little sketch, and then I did a final picture of it here, which I'll put it here, blah 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 there, and it got really popular popular for me on Tumblr. It got like a few thousand notes. So then I got kind of inspired to do a couple more. I really wanted to focus on the rest of the Oddish line, and then the Bellsprout line. And I wanted to do a kind of a different version of Victory Bell as well, where it's not like, where Victory Bell is kind of like upside down with the mouth on the top. And I wanted to see if I could like do something else with that. So I kind of came up with this idea. I also will have like the finished kind of drawings up on the screen, so you can kind of see the finished result. But these were just all of the explorations for that, and yeah, that was really fun. I really enjoy doing that. This is an old OC of mine. His name is Mott. He's a demon, but he's not like a demon of anything in particular. He's just like, again, it was just kind of like a species of demon that I had like created. And he used to have like tattoos and stuff, and I kind of did away with all of that. But this was done, I referenced it. Oh, I just hit my elbow on the clamp for my ring light. Ow. Anyway, I was referencing like an anatomy book, so that's why he's so kind of like detailed here. But yeah, I mean, I haven't drawn him since I was a teenager, but I still love him a lot. And he's always kind of, you know, when you have like a character, an OC that you love a lot, but you never draw them, and they're always living in the back of your mind. Mott is one of those for me. Rune again. I was practicing some expressions there, and I really regret doing that thick red line around the edge of her here, because I really liked that drawing, and I think that kind of ruined it. This is a little illustration of a character from a French fairy tale called Podan, which is just basically donkey skin. Somebody on DeviantArt said that she was referenced in a game called The Wolf Among Us. I've never played it, so I don't know. If you have heard of the character, maybe you know her from there. I don't know, but it's a really bizarre fairy tale, as a lot of them are. But yeah, basically, very, very quickly, she is like a princess, and her mother dies, the queen, and the king, her father, wants to marry again, but there's no other woman in the kingdom who matches up basically to his wife other than his daughter. So he ends up kind of trying to marry his daughter, which obviously she is like, absolutely not. she starts giving him like these really impossible tasks, which he still manages to achieve. So she asks him to have like a dress made of moonlight, or a dress made of sunlight, or a dress made of like the sky. And he manages to do all of those things. And then eventually she asks him, he has a donkey which basically craps gold, which is why he's so like, they're so wealthy. So she tells him that she wants him to kill and have his donkey skinned for her to wear. And then for some reason, whenever she wears it, people only like see her as being horrifically ugly, or I don't really know why. But anyway, she escapes, and then she meets a prince, of course, and they fall in love and they get married, and it's all very happy and lovely. But it is a bit of a weird story. I can't deny that. But my family and I used to watch, like, there was a film made in the 70s of it, and we used to watch it a lot, and I was always so entranced by the dresses that her father made her. So I kind of wanted to, I had to start with obviously the iconic look of her, the donkey skin. Then I tried doing the moonlight dress. So I did this one, and I think I prefer the pose in it, but it didn't have that, like, I don't know, there was something I wasn't really happy with. I think it was the outlines of the dress that put me off. So I wanted to try doing the dress again with minimal outlines and a darker background, so it really looked like the dress was glowing. You know, I like it, but I don't love it. I would probably like to do something else again. I feel like using silver leaf would look really, really nice, but then I also kind of feel like that would be the easy way to do it. I wanted to do the sunlight dress, and I do plan on doing it sometime, and for that I would love to use like gold leaf. For something like that, I kind of feel like, ooh, that would look really kind of like delicious. Just like a pure gold dress. What a waste to do it just in a sketchbook, but whatever, I don't care. It's like, I would like to try it. So second last kind of spread before the end of the sketchbook. What always happens when I get to the end of my sketchbook and I have absolutely no idea what I want to draw, then I just mess, basically. I just throw paint on, scribble everywhere, you know, I use marker, my inks, pencils, like everything. I just make a mess. You know, I mean, it's not the worst mess I've ever made. It kind of looks cool. It kind of loosened me up a little bit, which was nice. And I do like some parts of it, like I actually do like this little part here where it's all like green and white and pink and then a little bit of black, and I just like, that's the thing, I'm really trying to incorporate like a style for drawing floral imagery into my drawings. So I was messing around with that, and now on to the last page. Another kind of abstract-y kind of picture, which I actually feel looks better this way. This is, oh no, sorry, it was this way. That's the way that I kind of posted it online, and to me it kind of looks like there's a landscape in the background and then there's like this tree. It's almost like it's made of glass or something. It's completely transparent and you can see the landscape through it. Again, it was just messing. There are aspects of it that I like and others that I don't, but I mean, I'm trying to really kind of like make myself really take advantage of my sketchbooks now. Like, I've already started a new one and I'm really trying to like maybe draw with no preparatory sketches, paint in it more, mess around with it more, be less like perfect with my drawings. I mean, not at all saying that my drawings are perfect. Like, a lot of the ones that I'm unhappy with are because I feel like they are imperfect, and I need to kind of get over that a little bit, which is hard because obviously, you know, for videos like this, you know, sketchbook tours, you want it to look nice and presentable and like impressive and whatever. But I feel over the last couple of years, more and more, I appreciate the sketchbook tours that I watch which aren't perfect and the books are really messy and there's paint everywhere and splatters, or people just stick random crap into their sketchbooks and stuff, and I love those sketchbooks because they just feel so like full and well used and loved, and it feels much more like what a sketchbook should be to me, rather than just like every page being like a perfect finished piece of artwork. some people do that and it's grand, you know. I'm not like knocking it at all, but you know, like this, more of this. I like to do more of this. Yeah. So that's my sketchbook tour. I hope it was a little bit interesting. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm so sorry that it's taken me so long to record another video. Things have been happening. I know I say this every time, but whatever, things were happening that meant that I needed to put my like filming equipment away, and I was just way too lazy to ever take it back out. So the weather's nice outside, and whenever that happens I feel more energetic to do stuff. And today was one of those days where I was like, okay, I've finished this now. I have to do it. I have to film it. I have to be done with it, move on, and like completely dedicate myself now to my new sketchbook. Hopefully I won't be too long doing something else. Now that I have things set up again, maybe I'll do some more like live painting, or you know, maybe I'll try streaming again. I don't know. I'm obviously not like naturally gifted with the wish to film, which is fine. I want my channel to be really, really laid back anyway. There's no kind of like serious plans for it or anything, but whatever. Anyway, this has gone long enough. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. So bye bye.